Thank you. All right, so I'm the offensive coordinator, so we'll talk a little bit about offense for a while, and that would be disappointing if we didn't. So, all right, so the thing is, man, we got 11 people. We can do whatever we want. So every year you look up and your toolbox is a little bit different. And it's our job as coaches to take whatever tools you have and figure out how to move the ball and score points. What you did 3 years ago that was really, really good may not fit your toolbox right now. And so we look up and right now the most depth that we have at a certain position is running backs. So you'll look up and you'll see two running backs on the field quite a bit, which we haven't done that. We've in the past we've had Braylon Smith and LaJuan and Tyler, and we would run play action, throw deep balls, and when we had the numbers in the box, we'd run it, and just a little more traditional stuff. But now you may see three running backs in a certain set. So, and all that's not just we're using a lot of running backs. Those are really good players. And if you're running plays and some of your best players are on the sidelines, well, y'all kind of can figure that out. It's probably not the thing to do all the time. So, anyway, Darius Hale he scored a ton of touchdowns last year as a rookie, which was pretty awesome. I mean, he looked like a freshman in game one, but after then, I mean, he kept climbing and climbing. And for the most part, he protects the ball. We'll give it to him, throw it to him, toss it to him, do all those things, and he's a guy that's fun to watch. I mean, he could play for a lot of people. So let's go. I mean, it's going to be good. He's number 4. So other guys, Kylan James. He's a guy that from Dumas. He played some last year, did well. We'll line him up in different spots as in the backfield with Darius, sometimes without Darius. Sometimes we'll line him up as a receiver just to create, you do all that stuff to create matchups, whether it's catching the ball and running or a blocking surface. I mean, the guy squats. Kylan, he's out there blocking an outside backer. He squats 600-700 pounds. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. You could strap like a minivan on his back, and he could probably squat it. So I mean, those are the type running backs that we're dealing with. And then there's Tristan Smith who can come in and do really well. So that's the biggest part of our team right now offensively. So and then of course the big thing is, well, when are you going to talk about the quarterback? Well, for 4 years now, we've come in here and talked about Braylon Smith, which was awesome. He was awesome, and I love him. He's one of my favorite people on the face of the earth. But he's not here anymore. So we've got a new guy, a new trigger guy. So name's Mcelveen, and if he walked in with his backpack, you would think he looks kind of like just a history major, just going to class, and he's lost in here. Well, what? He's not 6'4" and 235 or anything like that. But he's a guy that's going to be exciting to watch. Totally, when we talk about tools, he's totally different than the guys that we've had here in the past. We'll be able to use him in the run game and call a pass. Some of our best plays on Thursday night may be, hey, let's call a pass, and something doesn't work right, which a lot of times it doesn't when you're facing a good defense. All of a sudden the quarterback takes off and, hey, it's first down Bears, let's go. You'll see some of that. There'll be some designed things to get him out on the edge. We'll just look a little bit different than we have in the past. Probably move a little bit faster. So we'll crank up the heat a little bit as far as tempo, and I don't know. Offensively, we should be fun to watch. We got several receivers coming back. Christian Richmond and Gerard Barnes. Those two guys have played a lot of football here already. And we've got some guys that we signed in the past that are really starting to come on. A guy by the name of Miles Butler. He's catching everything. He looks like Spider-Man out there sometimes. That ball, of course, he's got big mitts for hands. And so we always do this. We always have this contest of, all right, two of us, you grab a ball with one hand and you take it from each other. The guy that has the ball wins. He's the only guy that I used to beat Tyler and LaJuan and everybody. I can't beat Miles Butler. He's got. I mean, it's like the ball's in the air and he's just like. It just sticks. So he's had a really good camp. He works really hard. So you'll see him catch in cuts and make tough catches. Who's my other guy that? And then we got some new guys that have come in. Trustin Oliver, he'll be the biggest receiver out there. Missouri State will have several big receivers, but he's our big guy. He transferred in from Colorado and has had a good camp. Got dinged up a little bit, but we're like, when you talk about matchups, he's big enough and he has enough ball skills to create some issues out there. And then John David White, he's a new guy that came in from U of A, and he'll be handy. He'll get out there and catch balls. So I don't know. It's exciting. We've gotten a new set of tools in our box. So we've put it together and we'll polish up these next couple of days and hopefully we'll start this season ginning and looking pretty good. Questions, comments, observations?
Who's the center?
All right, so our center is Jack Green and Jacob Cox. Those are two new guys. Both of them had a good camp. Jack's a little smaller, but he's like a little general out there. I mean, he runs the show and does a great job. Jacob Cox is a bigger guy. I mean, if the worst thing you can do as a blitzer is run close to that guy. He's going to put you. I mean, when he gets hands on you, it's over. So he's a big, strong guy. So those two guys have been here in the spring, and so they've learned our offense, and they're ready to roll.
So your running backs will need to block as well, right?
Oh yeah, they'll like what we require as our running backs is not just to run the ball. You got to run, you got to catch, and you got to pass protect. And if you can't do all three of those, then your time's going to be limited. That's a good tool to have. But all three of those guys can do that.
With your movement to more of a running team, does the offensive line they have to have a lot of adjustment?
No, it's like, okay, so when I say we'll look a little bit different, we're not going to run a bunch of new plays, but we'll run the same type schemes just in different ways. We may call an inside run, and all of a sudden on that play, 4 different people could actually get the ball, not just the running back. I mean, the quarterback may pull that thing and run it, pull it and throw it to a guy's short port, pull it and throw it to another guy. So it's not new schemes. It's just a little new flavor for, kind of tailored to what our guys can do.
What kind of pace of the game are you going to try to go?
Hopefully pretty quick. I mean, we're not doing a deal where it's a contest to who can run the most plays, but we know this. I must have said something that's out of line here. Hold on. You're supposed to tell me not to say that. I don't remember what the question was. What was it?
That would be a first. You never had neighbor alert in the middle of everything. Pace the play.
There you go. Pace the play. All right. So we'll move quick, and there are certain times where we will move really fast. When you use people the way that we're going to use them, if you turn up the tempo a little bit, it's going to help you. And our guys have got to understand, and our guys do understand, you use that as a weapon. It's not just, hey, let's get out here and see how many plays we can run, but you'll notice that we'll move faster than we have in the past, and sometimes we'll be moving really quick.
So I asked Coach Brown the other day, I said, I've not seen a quarterback run that fast and had that many moves since either you or Ken Collums. And he looked at me and said, your memory's not very good.
No doubt. That's good. That means you're encouraged and fired up. And sometimes our passion, kind of overrides the common sense. But that's good. It's good. But yeah, Will can run a little bit, so that's good. And what'll be cool is your execution a lot of times is not perfect. As a coach, you want to say, hey, we're not executing right. We got it. Well, a lot of times it just doesn't work like that. But if you have a quarterback that can bail you out, man, it makes it a whole lot better. I always tell my quarterbacks, don't make a bad play worse. Like, you'll be in some bad spots out there. Just don't make it worse by throwing the ball to them or trying to do too much. But a lot of times he'll keep the chains moving just by running. And there'll be some design stuff where, it's a quarterback draw, but there's a route attached to it. And if he likes to throw, he'll throw it out there. If not, then you got your running back leading for him. What else you got? Y'all been nice to me.
You've got a number of quarterbacks on this year's team. How are you going to keep them all happy? Because with the transfer portals like we have now, if some don't get to play or see the light of the game, they're going somewhere else. So what's your scheme to keep all these people happy?
Well, the number one plan on that is I was not hired to keep people happy. I was hired to win games and move the ball and score points. So that's the number one thing. But the bottom line is, if you treat people the way that they're supposed to be treated, if you treat them like a man and help them grow and invest in them, you've got a better chance to hold on to these guys anyway. It's got to be more than just football and coming to weights, show up on time, do it. Everybody can do that, but we want more out of our guys, and so we invest more in them. So, I've had a few transfer in the past, and it's because they weren't playing or didn't see themselves playing, and that's part of the landscape now. And so we've all got to kind of get over that and figure out how to. I mean, I've had Braylon Smith for 4 years. I got to coach a little bit. I got a brand new guy, so hopefully it won't be like that every other year. But whatever comes out there, we got to coach and we got to get it done. All right, we good? Thank you.
All right, I'm going to bring up second year defense coordinator. I'll say this: going into year 5, this is the first time, maybe the second time that I've been able to retain same coordinator from one year to the next. So this is a big deal. So I'm bring up Matt Kitchens, and second year defense coordinator.
How we doing? All right, so yeah, I'm the coordinator on the defensive side of the ball. It's got to come up with all of the ways to fix the toolboxes that all these offensive guys come with, right? I think that's always someone asked me yesterday about what do you think Missouri State's going to do new on offense? I said, I have no idea. I wish I knew. Do you? So no, I think our style of defense is obviously we want to be a striking defense. We want to go after people. We're going to pressure a little more than we did last year. And I think we've upgraded our football team tremendously. We signed 21 players, right, on my side of the ball from December until July. So we're excited about that. I think we're doing the same thing on defense as people are doing on offense, trying to find the best way to get our best players, right, at the football. And we've got some really special kids. I mean, I'm very thankful and blessed about the players that we have on this defense. I'll talk about some of the guys that are returning. I'm also probably not as long-winded as Coach Collums is. No, but anyways, returners, I want to start with the DBs because we've got 2 kids, Cam Godfrey, plays safety, and Tamarian Wilson from Bryan, Arkansas, who have came night and day from when we first got here till now. They're playing the game the right way. They love playing football. And I think, defensively, it can be tough, right? And you got to have guys who show up every day, smile on their face, get through the hard stuff, and like hitting people, and have that mentality. And both of those kids have that mentality. You will see them on the field more often than not. And whether they're playing, different spots, different roles, playing different places, you'll see a bunch of them. So I'm fired up about those guys. Matter of fact, one of them was in my office getting the turnover prop figured out. So we got that. We got our new turnover prop. It's going to be good. Can't talk to you about it. And then James Jordan, he's a freshman that plays corner for us. Very fast, very, very, very sudden, change direction, unbelievable ball skills. And, if you have a good corner in today's world, you got a chance, and I think that's where we spent some time trying to get better, and he was one on the roster, and you'll see him. He'll play most of the downs. So now I get to talk about Logan Jessup, huh? That's an easy one to talk about, right? That kid, I shouldn't say kid. He's probably as grown up as anyone I've ever been around, right? That's the kid that you look up, and I've got a daughter, and you say, like, that would be great, right? That's the kid I want to marry my daughter. And matter of fact, we're probably both good for each other, right? So Logan's a little bit really quiet, walks the straight line, doesn't go either way here or there, right? And I like sometimes have a good time, correct? Kind of get him out of his comfort zone a little bit, because he gets me out of mine a little bit, right? And but I will say that kid is one of the most special kids I've ever had a chance to coach. Obviously, my wife's from Wynn, so that background's a little good too. You know, Logan's from Wynn. He loves his Yellow Jackets. I know that. So, but Logan's a kid. When you watch him play defense, it's not flashy, right? It's really just grit, determination. He's going to make plays late in the game because he works harder than everybody else, right? And he may be one of the best kids I've ever been around. And I'm very thankful for him. Obviously, I get to coach him. So if you see Jessup, don't tell him I spoke too highly of him, right? I don't want him to get too comfortable now. And then Kaden Brown. Kaden Brown's a kid from Dardanelle who actually was here when I was here in 2000. That would have been 17, correct? In 2017. So it's a 6-year kid. He's been here a long time. From Dardanelle, and just, he's another one. He's a joy to coach. Loves football, loves UCA, loves this town, and he's going to do big things, right? This year, I mean, he did last year. He helped us out tremendously, played a bunch of snaps. Jalen Bedell is a kid that's coming back that plays 3 technique, who started a bunch of games the last 2 years, correct? He's had a really good fall camp. He's really gotten to play the game a little harder. We're excited about him. I mean, he's a kid that's big enough and physical enough that we got to get a bunch of downs from. Okay, now here's some of the new ones, right? Some of the new faces, which are always fun to talk about. Okay, I'll start with Coach Collums' favorite player, David Walker. Dave Walker's a transfer from SAU. This guy's got some freakiness to him, right? I mean, he was at SAU. He had 9 sacks last year. What did he power clean? 395 from the ground. He's a kid that's got ultimate, twitch, pop, can change directions. Comes to football every day with the biggest smile you've ever seen, right? He loves football, right? And I think you're hearing that come out of my mouth more and more, right? And he wears number 0, so you'll probably see him a bunch on Thursday. I can promise you that. What we'll do with him is just like Jessup, both those guys can really rush the quarterback. We'll find as many situations as we can to get them one-on-ones to hit the quarterback, because I think we obviously have to do a better job of that. That was our biggest offseason deal, is how can we affect quarterbacks, and it also helps when you get one that can do it, right? It can make me right at times, right? He can just pin his ears back, rock and roll, and that's that kid. I mean, I'm excited. And we got Jace Mccoy. He's a transfer from Gulf Coast who's came in, and really him and David play the same position, so they play ends. He had 11 sacks in junior college last year. So that's another plus, right? So we're trying to get some guys, again, that can really rush the passer. Back DBs, we signed Trey Green. He's actually dating, what's her last name? Mayor on the volleyball team, correct? She was just player all tournament team, correct? Trey Green is probably as good a kid as you'll ever come across as well. I mean, just does everything the right way, plays extremely hard, loves football, loves being here. He's helped our team. He's a kid that really helps kids get more than what they're given, right? He's going to be one that's going to stay late. He's going to make sure that we want our helmets in the line, they get in the line, right? If we want to make sure we have thigh pads on, I saw him one day checking to make sure everybody had thigh pads on, you know? And you can see it in his play. He doesn't bust, doesn't miss a lot of assignments. Very thankful for him. Last one I'll talk about is T.D. Williams. He plays corner for us. He's a transfer from Hines Community College. He'll wear number 16. He's a kid that we obviously upgraded again in December, right? Trying to get some more DBs, right? He's had an unbelievable spring and a really good fall camp. He's got good ball skills, and we're excited about him. I'll talk about 2 other people, right, that I'm excited about, right? That's Darius Hale, cool, and Mcelveen. Those are my 2 favorites on the team, correct? Because they'll keep us aware. We'll drink water, we'll watch them play. And I mean that. And he would be the best history student. Will would be the best history student at this school. I can promise you that. But that's kind of what I got. Anybody got anything? Come on. Defense. Question. Come on.
Any kind of rule change that help or hurt the defense?
Never. They never do those. They always have ones that hurt us, right? They never give us rules that help, you know? No, I don't think so. I don't think we have any that that would hurt us or help us. I don't, you know? Maybe we'll get a couple more linemen downfield calls, you know, in the RPO world. That would be a blessing. But no, we don't have any. Yes, sir. My linebacker core, yes. So our linebacker, you got me again. No, our linebacker core, we actually have two guys coming back, Demetrius Charles from Texarkana, Darren Davenport from Fort Smith, and we signed Corley Hooper from Etowamba Community College, and Noah Mitchell. He was a 4-year bounce back from UTSA. He was at Pearl River in the fall. So same thing where you can see we got a young kid that's from Hoxie, Jace Mccoy, that we're really fired up about, that I think we'll see run down the field, maybe more on special teams early, but we're very excited about him.
Your alignment this year is going to be basically the same as what last.
Say it again.
Your alignment this year is basically the same as last.
Yes, but our starting two interior D linemen will be, right? Logan Jessup at outside linebacker, the Bandit, and then our starting end will be David Walker. And then everybody behind them will be new. So, yes, sir. Yep.
Relatively brief and just bounce off what Coach Collums and Coach Kitchen said. One, I think a theme you're hearing is turnover. I think one of the first things that we talked about after a subpar season was finding a way to turn the roster over in a positive way. Sometimes that can be a negative thing, but turn it over in a positive way. In the landscape we're in college athletics, not just football, college athletics in general, the availability to leave at any point is at student athletes' fingertips. So you can use that to your advantage or you can use it to your disadvantage. So it's like you talk to your coaching staff, how are we going to embrace this as a group? And so you've got to have some philosophical changes. You have to have recruiting direction that may go a different way. And that's what we've done. I mean, bottom line, I've been at University of Central Arkansas for a long time as a coach. And during my time as a coach, we have consistently built this program on high school talent. That's not going to change. We're still going to sign the best high school athletes that the state of Arkansas can provide. And then wherever our recruiting footprint takes us, we're going to continue to sign high school kids. Now, in the transfer world, we have consistently signed junior college kids. Well, that's changed. I mean, you look at our roster now, and we signed 7 FBS transfer student athletes. And so that's obviously an enormous number compared to what we've done in the past. Now, let's fast forward. Is that a good thing? Absolutely, it's a good thing. We've used it to our advantage. We've got young men that maybe were trying to find a change of scenery, whether it was a playing time issue where they were at, whether it was a philosophical issue where they were at, maybe it was wanting to get closer to home, whatever it was, an opportunity to gain a scholarship as opposed to not having one. You can talk about a lot of different scenarios, but we truly turned our roster over. Matt mentioned it. We've got 21 new faces on defense. We've got 44 new faces in our program right now than we had this time last year. That's a big number at the Division I level. Now, I think that's probably pretty consistent with ASUN members. I mean, if you look up and down most rosters, there's a lot of new faces. I mean, when you're preparing for a program, as we've done self-eval and evaluating teams we're playing, there's a lot of new faces. And that's just the world we're in, but we're excited about that. The theme I do consistently see, though, is we've hit on a lot of guys that love football. We've hit on a lot of guys that maybe either are getting their first chance or their second chance at an opportunity, and they're trying to make the most of it. When you can walk across that street to that practice field and have a smile on your face and enjoy coaching a group of men every single day, that's a true blessing. You know, and I will say this, I've enjoyed every team we've had here over the last 4 years as me being the head coach, but this has been the most fun camp I've had as being a head coach. And a testament to that is just freshness. Is newness, is guys that are excited and fighting, scratching and clawing for their opportunities, and that's been the common theme that I think both of them would agree with, and our coaching staff that's right under us right now would echo as well. It's no secret this is a very difficult schedule this year, but one we're very excited about. Look, Dr. Teague puts together some of the best schedules that the FCS level of football can offer. he knows what it takes to get to the national playoffs. He's been in those rooms. So therefore, it's important to play games that matter, right? So I can't think of a better game that matters than hosting the number 5 ranked team in the country on the stripes, a Missouri Valley Conference, which they're the top tier conference at this level of football, on a Thursday night to open the season. Oh my gosh, how fun is that going to be, right? And then you turn around and you get an opportunity, obviously financially gain in an Ole Miss game and a Power 5 game, and get a chance for our guys to go experience the SEC. When we talk about the student-athlete experience, Steve just said it, most of us have never even been to Idaho. Well, we're going to get a chance to take 75 guys to Idaho for the first time in their life. How fun is that, right? I mean, what an experience that is. And then you get a great regional matchup at SEMO. I mean, they're a playoff team in 2019. When we're preparing as a national number 8 seed with a bye in 2019 after winning the conference, we were preparing for either Illinois State or SEMO. That's a great program over there. They've done a great job. You look at Lindenwood. Everybody's like, well, who's Lindenwood? Well, Lindenwood's in the Ohio Valley Conference now. They're in the Division I transfer stage like we were from 2006 to 2009. They were a Division II playoff team the last 2 years. And then Stephen F. Austin, obviously they're a preseason top 10 team. Didn't have success this week against another team we play in Jacksonville State, but again, another great non-conference game along with an unbelievable ASUN schedule. So we're excited. Our guys are prepped for this. I talked to our guys last night. So football's so unique, and I'm not trying to call out other sports, but like other sports, y'all get John, I get it. You get like what? How many matches a year? Almost 30 matches a year. That's awesome. I mean, you look, baseball plays 60, basketball plays however many, 40. We get 11 opportunities. Like 11 opportunities, and we work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, year round for 11 opportunities. So when you get an opportunity like we're going to have Thursday night, I have zero reason to think that that's not going to be one of the best crowds that's ever been here. There ought to be a ton of excitement. There ought to be, obviously, a Thursday night. The students ought to be out in full force. I know you guys will be. I'm not worried about that. But our students ought to be out in full force. And you get a chance to go win a big football game against a great opponent. And so we're obviously in a position now in the ASUN conference where there's a little bit of continuity. There's excitement. We kind of know what direction we're going with. You just coming off of a 2-year stretch where it was up and down. 2020, we didn't know if we were going to play. We were sitting there throwing a schedule together. 2021, we're like, is ASUN there? It's ASUN WAC Challenge, right? Like, I don't know, this is the first time we know where we're consistently going to go. We're prepared for it, and now we're going to go put our best foot forward. And I think that the best is still to come. There's a lot to be excited about. There's a lot of new faces, a lot of new numbers. They mentioned a lot of them. And one thing that we didn't mention today, we've got all 3 specialists back. I figured that question would come up. We got Hayden Ray back as kicker, Chandler Coffron back as punter, a returning all-conference punter, and maybe most important that helps me sleep at night is Justin Kyers at deep snapper. That's as important of 3 spots as you can have on your team, especially as a head coach. And so we're excited. We're ecstatic to get this thing going, and we're looking forward to it. It's here, and that's it's that time of year. Football was upon us this weekend, and we're just excited to get this thing rolling. So, any questions for me real fast? My guys did a good job.
A little bit about Missouri State.
Yeah, so Missouri State returned 17 starters. Headlined by Jason Shelley. He's the preseason first-team All-American quarterback. Returning Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Year. He was a transfer last year from Utah State. Coach Petrino, obviously, he's got a track record of developing quarterbacks. Shelley's no different. He's got dual threat ability. You want to talk about a quarterback matchup? You got one Thursday night. It's going to be fun to watch. We've got to contain him, keep him in the box. Don't let him break the pocket. That's where he can hurt you. He consistently does that. I saw where they're returning the most all Missouri Valley Conference players. I think they have 8 or 9 on their roster that were postseason honors last year. They're good. They're solid defense. They're going to hit you. They're not going to do anything just out of the ordinary. They play sound. They've got an all-conference, all-American type receiver. Coach Collums mentioned they're pretty big at receiver with this kid. This kid's a big physical kid. Again, they won 8 games in the Missouri Valley Conference. They've been to the national playoffs the last 2 years. Obviously, we've got a lot of history with them recently in the last 2 years. We're 2-1 against them, but in all 3 of those games, it could have went either way. They were all close games, and were 4-quarter battles, and it's a great matchup. To me, it's a good regional matchup as far as FCS football goes as there is. I would assume that they would bring down a pretty good crowd from Springfield. with their hype and their excitement going into the season. But again, this will be a great opening weekend challenge for us. I was talking to Steve about this over the last couple of weeks. I don't know of, at least I know in the Division I era, I don't think we've ever opened the season with a top 10 opponent. Probably not in the Division II days. We were talking about that. I mean, we probably weren't opening with any, so you'd have to go back probably to the NAIA days to where you opened the season in Conway against a top 10 opponent. So it's going to be a great night, again, against obviously a special talented team in Missouri State, quality opponent. And again, this game's not going to make or break our season, but man, I'll tell you what, you get on the right end of this one, it'll set you up pretty well, and we're excited about that. So go Bears. Yeah.
Hello. Hey. Welcome back. Isn't this nice? Man, I have been looking forward to this day for a long time. It's so great to see everybody. What a great day. What a great fall this will be. I just can't wait. I'm so excited. Coach Kitchens, Coach Collums, thank you guys for being here. You did a great job. Coach Kitchens, I'm a little upset at you right now because my daughter is Logan Jessup's age, and you could have told me this a long time ago. So I don't know why you think your daughter needs. And by the way, Logan Jessup is married, so I think we're done. Oh, type of person. Okay, thank you. Coach Collums, your son and my son are freshmen together in Hughes Hall now, right here on campus. How about that? They are roommates. So there's a connection there. And your son cannot date my daughter. How about that? Is that fair? They're not close enough in age, is all I'm saying. That's all I'm really trying to say here. Thursday night's gonna be great. Can't wait. 7 p.m. kick. Every game this year is on ESPN Plus or better. ESPN Plus. So you can watch every single game with a great broadcast. Michael Deere's not here, is he? He's upstairs working. He's our ESPN broadcast director and has done a fabulous job. If you got to watch our women's soccer game last week or any of the, he didn't do the away games, but the home games, you'll be impressed with what he's doing in production, and so we're proud of that, as well as the rest of our staff. Unbelievable. You'll notice we have 5 on-field suites this year. We've had 3 the past 2 years, now 5. 5 is the capacity, so don't get scared that we're going to block the video board. We're not going to do that, but it's nice. A good atmosphere down there. All the suites are sold out. There's a lot of excitement. Ticket sales have been great. Purple Circle has been great, so thank you all. Thank you for spreading that word. I'm going to end on a sad note, but before I do that, is there anything else we need to talk about? We got the Power Trust over here, Dr. Davis, Terry Fiddler, and Bunny Adcock from our Board of Trustees. Thank you guys for being here. They wanted to make sure that the coordinators did a nice job today. We brought them in for y'all. I'll find out after this what their opinion is. Anything else, Steve? We good? So Walt Wells is the head football coach at Eastern Kentucky, and we played them now. This will be our 4th time in 3 years, just like Missouri State. He had a heart attack yesterday and is in ICU, so keep him in your prayers. Good friends of ours. Obviously, we came into the league together, into the A-Sun, and we'll be thinking about him, and hopefully he'll be fine. Anything else? Awesome. Go Bears. Go Sugar Bears. Bear claws up.